Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new episode of the South Central Louisiana State Mud Dogs, and today we're going to be going on the road against Arkansas State, and they may be considered better than us on paper, but Kirk Herbstreit is going to rock with us for this week. Really surprised about that given the last time that these two teams played. It was a blowout, like something that you have never seen before in the Sun Belt Conference, which if you want to check that out, there's going to be a little link on the upper right hand corner. But enough about that. Let's get into this year's game versus Arkansas State. Alright, so here we are at Liberty Bank Stadium here on the Arkansas State campus, which is a nice campus. I actually do like this stadium for being in the Sun Belt Conference. And we're going to go ahead in here and get this coin toss in, and it is actually tails, so we will actually get the ball to start this game. So Stan Castillo is going to start by dropping back to throw it to Ryan Wilson real quick. Nice 9-yard gain on the play for a nice first down. Very next play, Casey Bugg's going to go into motion. Looks like it's going to be a halfback screen, but they're in mans and going to try to get it off to Ryan Wilson again, but he actually drops it. Going to be 2nd and 10 for the Mud Dogs. Next play, Stan Castillo is going to throw it to Ryan Wilson for a third time. This time he does catch it. This time around, gains 22 yards on the play. Continues to move the chains. Decent start from the Mud Dogs. You know, the Mud Dogs are moving the ball down the field, and it's a brand new team this season, as you know, got a lot of freshmen that are starting that weren't even at the college level last year, as Connor Martinez deflects the pass, and looks like the Mud Dogs are going to have to settle for a field goal. Alright, so now Arkansas State has the ball, and it's actually going to be Ryan Baker scrambling. Excuse me, I didn't mean Ryan Baker, I meant Tim Baker. Either way, he gets the first down, moves the chains for Arkansas State. Eric Smith catches another pass from Tim Baker, makes it 2nd and 4. With a couple of plays later, Arkansas State facing another third down, and he actually drops the pass, and Arkansas State is going to have to punt it away. That's something that I didn't say in this game last season. Definitely am glad that Arkansas State has to punt it away for a change. So the Mud Dogs now have the ball, and it looks like Stan Castillo is going to run with it, and he's going to gain 12 yards, and there is a reason why he's so special. Look at his stats, just his rushing stats, over 500 yards and 5 touchdowns on the season. That's on the ground, and as I hype this man up, he gets sacked by multiple Arkansas State players. So now it's 2nd and 18. He's going to throw it off to Darren Joyce, who gains most of the yardage back, makes it a very manageable 3rd and 5. Nice catch for his first catch of the day for Darren Joyce. Halfback draw for Casey Bugg. He just barely gets the first down, but he's going to power through and continue to move the chains so that we can keep the drive going. Next play, Stan Castillo is going to drop back to Ryan Wilson, and Wilson can't hang on to it, which will make it 2nd and 10 now for the Mud Dogs. However, Casey Bugg is going to make up for it by getting a nice 13-yard run on the play. Makes it a 1st and 10 for your South Central Louisiana State Mud Dogs. Mud Dogs are moving the ball really well, and we are just gashing this Arkansas State defense as Casey Bugg gets another 17-yard run on the play. Moving these chains and just moving the ball extremely well. A much better start than last year, and it is nearly intercepted by Vernon Myers, but it's just going to fall harmlessly to the ground, and Mud Dogs will still have another chance with this 2nd and 10. And they're going to take the most of that opportunity with Carl Wright getting the pass from Stan Castillo, gaining 11 yards. Mud Dogs are playing really well, man. It's a lot better than how we did last year when we things were not good whatsoever, to put it bluntly, as Stan Castillo here is going to get into the end zone, and your Mud Dogs are going to take a 10-0 lead following that nice touchdown run by Stan Castillo. That is the 6th touchdown run of the season, and your Mud Dogs are going to take a 2-possession lead. But Arkansas State is not going to give up just yet. A couple of plays after they get the ball back, Andrew Hall is going to take the buck sweep to the right-hand side, gains 13 yards, and makes it a 3rd and 2. Next play, quarterback's going to drop back the pass, and they're going to barely get the first down. Deion Dixon is able to get that inside cross to work well for him. And it's going to be a new set of downs for the Mud Dogs. However, Arkansas State's going to start to get stifled here as Tim Baker gets sacked on the play by Lyle Robadux, as Lyle gets his first sack of the game. Multiple Mud Dogs were there to get that sack, and going into the end of this first quarter, your Mud Dogs are going to have a 10-0 lead. Definitely a reversal of what we witnessed last year between these two squads. So very first play of the second quarter is going to be a dump-off pass to, looks like the tight end, and Eric Smith. Eric Smith gains the sack yards back, and it's going to be a 3rd and 10 that Arkansas State is going to face. Tim Baker is going to throw it off to his tight end again, and they're going to be stuffed just short of the first down marker, and your Mud Dogs are going to get the ball back. Very first play after getting the ball back, he's going to dump it off to Brad Muse, the fullback. Fullback doesn't get used very often in today's college game, but Brad Muse is going to get involved in the passing game for a change. Sets up a nice run by Casey Bug, as the Mud Dogs are just looking like a completely different team. I'm just amazed at the progress that has been made, at least in the mentality of this football team, just between seasons. This is a team that lost 70 to like 31, if I'm not mistaken, last year, and now the Mud Dogs are going into Arkansas State, and they are just laying it out on them as Casey Bug continues to run extremely well. Just had a 7th carry for 60 yards, as Carl Wright's going to take his next carry, and he's going to get some yards of his own as he gains 8 yards on the play, and the Mud Dogs already have 100 yards rushing, and we're not even through the end of the first half yet. Next play, though, Casey Bug is going to continue to run hard, gains 5 yards, and moves the chains for a South Central first down. And then Casey Bug is just going to keep running to the outside, just continue to gain those 5 yards, 5-6 yard gains, just continuing to move the ball forward. And the best part is we're not making any mistakes, at least not yet. I hope that I don't get to jinx my favorite football team that I get to work with, in terms of team builders. Gotta show some love to the water boy, and Stan Castillo is gonna stumble into the end zone, and he is gonna score his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game, his 7th of the season, and your Mud Dogs are just absolutely stunning this Arkansas State crowd as they take a 17-0 lead on the road. But the Red Wolves are not going to give up just yet as Andrew Hall takes the carry from Tim Baker, gains 11 yards, but he gets picked off very next play by Mike Bullock. Mike Bullock gets the interception on Tim Baker, and your Mud Dogs are going to start off with amazing field position. So after the interception, Tim Smith does go into the motion, hands it off, but gets handed off by Casey Bug. Casey Bug finds a huge lane up the gut, and he's going to gain 27 yards. Man just had a huge hole to run through. Couldn't quite get away from the safety, but we'll take the 27-yard gain on the play. Very next play, though, after that huge gain, we're going to hand it off to Casey Bug once again. This time he gains 7 more yards, sets up a 2nd and 3. So here we go, 2nd and 3 for the Mud Dogs. Stan Castillo doesn't like what he sees. He's going to scramble. He's going to fumble it. And it still counts as a touchdown. David Jones was able to recover it, but I'm not going to complain. Mud Dogs are going to take a 24-0 lead. Very next possession, though, Arkansas State's going to throw it off to Nate Diggs, who is I want to say is the nephew of Stephon Diggs. That's probably not the case. Probably just a nice little coincidence. 2nd and 4, though, for Arkansas State. This time he's going to scramble out to the right, and he's going to get tackled by Nicholas Beverly, but not before he gets the first down. Ensuing play, Tim Smith goes into motion. Quarterback's going to try to scramble, but he doesn't find any room as multiple Mud Dog defenders get into his backfield. And it's going to be a sack of 5 yards. Going to be 2nd and 15 now that Arkansas State's going to have to face. Ensuing play, Tim Baker's going to scramble once again. This time he finds a much bigger hole, gets the first down, and a little bit more after that. So nice recovery on that play. 1st and 10 for Arkansas State. He's going to throw it deep, and it's nearly picked off by Tyree Pickens, but we will take the incompletion. That could have been a touchdown, but Tyree Pickens makes an excellent play. And it just really gives the defense that fire as Bobby Boucher is able to get in there and get his first sack of the game. And then Tim Baker gets picked off again by the true freshman Joe Thompson. Joe Thompson gets his first interception on this game. And it looks like the Mud Dogs are just going to go into halftime, and Arkansas State's not going to get a single point. However, it looks like they were getting ready to take it into halftime, but Henry Klein is going to take the timeout. Looks like the Mud Dogs see blood in the water, as they say in the Jaws movies. Casey Bug gains 8 yards. But what looks like it's going to be the last play, he wasn't even trying to be thrown to Tim Smith, I don't think. But Casey Bug's going to get the reception, and he gets the Mud Dogs right in the field goal range. What a play to end this first half. And your Mud Dogs are going to go into halftime with a 27-0 lead. Wow, what a change of events from the previous season. So here we are in the second half, as the Mud Dogs do have a 27-0 lead, but how long can they keep up the shutout? Plays like that, though, are definitely going to help as Tim Baker gets sacked again, this time by Doug Carrington, who gets his first sack as well as his first tackle and TFL. A couple of plays later, Arkansas State is facing a 3rd and 9, and they nearly stop him at the marker, but somehow breaks the tackle on Bobby Boucher. That's something you don't see every day. So Arkansas State's going to get the first down. Ensuing play is going to be another throw up the middle to, looks like, Roderick Wade, who gets his second catch, I believe, on the day. And it's going to set up a second consecutive first down. Ensuing play, Hall gets away from a would-be tackler and makes it 2nd and inches for the Arkansas State Red Wolves. So Arkansas State is starting to drive down this football field, but can they finish the drive this time around? Last time they had a little bit of momentum. They ended up getting picked off by Mike Bullock, but can they get some points on the board this time around? And it looks like they'll be able to do just that as Nate Diggs gets behind the defense, and it's going to be a touchdown for Arkansas State. But the Mud Dogs still have a 27-7 lead, though, so we're not even worried. As this very next play, Darren Joyce is going to get around his blocker, and he might be able to take it to the end zone. No! He gets tackled at the 2-yard line. But it looks like it's going to be finished off by Casey Buggs as he's going to run it in the very next play, and Casey Bugg is going to get his rushing touchdown. Mud Dogs are going to take a 34-7 lead. Ensuing possession, Doug Carrington actually falls down. Could have had the sack if he stayed up, but instead it's going to be a 6-yard reception for Andrew Hall. Man, what a game for the Mud Dogs. They were blown out by this team last year. I know I said it plenty of times, but they are out here playing hard and may not be the most talented team on paper, but they have the opportunity to do something special, as they are playing extremely well, as Wade is going to get that reception. Arkansas State's picking it up on the offensive end and starting to get some momentum, but the offense is still continuing to play well, as looks like this halfback screen actually nets 6 yards. Mud Dogs were a little bit bamboozled on the play, and it's just going to set. Oh my goodness! Oh my word! Matt Washington is definitely a part of that 10 toes down movement, as he just outworks our corner. Looks like that was James Joyce on the coverage, and it sets up a beautiful passing catch. Man, what a play by the receiver. That was actually really nice. I gotta give that one to him. And it's gonna set up. Ooh! It almost sets up another touchdown, but it looks like he had a foot out of bounds before he caught the ball. And it's just gonna have Arkansas State stall out as Tim Baker gets sacked again. This time he tries to scramble, but we just stuff up the middle too much, and we are eventually able to get it to him. Arkansas State's going to have to settle for the field goal. Ensuing play, Casey Buggs going to get to the outside. He nearly gets away from the tackler, but it's a nice 20-yard gain. Mud Dogs continue to move this ball down the field, and we may have to think about getting the backups in, as we are just laying it out against Arkansas State. It has just been a truly beautiful thing to watch here today. Carl Wright's going to get the carry. He gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage, but he powers through for a gain of 5 yards. What impressive running for Carl Wright. Couple of plays later, Casey Bugg's going to go into motion. They think it was going to be a handoff to Bug, but instead Stan Castillo is going to keep it. And that's going to be the last play of this third quarter. Mud Dogs are going to take a 34-10 lead. I'm thinking if we score a touchdown on this drive, we're going to get the backups in, as we don't want any of our starters to get hurt when it's a blowout like this. And that's might just do it. Ryan Wilson gets an 8-yard reception touchdown from Stan Castillo, his only touchdown pass of the game. But this is the part where we'll get the backups in. So here we are at the end of the game, and it was just a bloodbath. We only threw 16 passes, but we were effective with our passes, 12 for 16 between the two quarterbacks. Gunnell only threw one pass during his time in the fourth quarter, but it went for 43 yards, so it's a pretty nice pass. Stan Castillo also had a good game, 194 yards and a touchdown between your Mud Dog quarterbacks. The South Central Louisiana State rushing attack also did a really impressive job. Casey Bug had 148 yards on the ground with that touchdown. And then Stan Castillo was able to get 2 touchdowns himself with 14 carries and 74 yards. Also had some contributions from a bunch of other running backs. Carl Wright, he had 9 carries for 60 yards. G. Gunnell had a rushing touchdown. We had a true freshman at running back, I believe, Alan Holland, a recruit that we got from last year. He was able to get into the game, and he, on his very first carry, he gains 5 yards, and most importantly, he gets a touchdown in this fourth quarter. So that's really awesome to see that, some of our younger players that don't get to play as often, they can get into the game for a change. Receivers, we had a few receivers that, did a little bit significant work. Ryan Wilson, true freshman out of Union City, California. He gets a touchdown pass from Stan Castillo. Darren Joyce only had those 2 catches, but they went for deep. 87 yards off those 2 catches. And then Casey Bug had 34 yards off of 2 catches. Carlos Burrell, Tim Smith, Brad Muse, and Carl Wright were also able to get a catch as well. So, good for them, since we're not necessarily a pass-happy team, at least here in South Central Louisiana State. James Joyce, the true junior out of Fairborn, Ohio, that usually known for his hard hitting, and he lived up to it. Led the team today with 6 tackles. Granted, our starters were pulled out towards the beginning of the fourth quarter. Rudy Cruz, a true freshman, actually is a backup for us that usually doesn't get in the game very much. He had 2 tackles for a loss and actually led the team not only in TFLs but also with quarterback sacks. So way to make the most of his opportunities, and it was really nice to really see a development going on behind the starters that we have on this squad. And, we did a real good job of getting to this quarterback, and that's a huge reason why not only that we won this game, but we're able to blow him out. And then finally, we had 2 interceptions. Joe Thompson, the true freshman out of Mequon, Wisconsin, he got an interception. And then the junior redshirt out of Georgia, he got the other interception. So thanks to that beautiful performance, we did get Kyle White, a JUCO quarterback, to commit to the team. He'll probably replace G. Gunnell as the backup quarterback for next season. Probably won't see the field that much during his collegiate career, but will give some good depth and some backup help should Stan Castillo get downed. So that's all I have for today. Next week we will be going on the road once again to play Texas State. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Make sure you leave a like, leave a comment for your boy, and if you really like my content, please subscribe to the channel, as I would truly appreciate that. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.